In the previous lecture, we learned about the text area element. In this lecture, we're going to learn about the button element. Now, for the button element, there's three actions that can be chosen, such as a regular clickable button to submit form data or to reset form to its default values. This is possible by specifying the type attribute. The available values to choose from are button, submit, and reset. Also, a submit and reset elements, sometimes both, are used in a single form. So we're gonna define a button here. So just a type button. And this one has a not a self-closing tag, but an ending tag. Uh, yeah, ending tag. Okay. As a text, I'm gonna say clickable button, and I'm gonna add the type attribute, and this is gonna be a button. Okay, save it, refresh the page, and there you have it. This is just a regular clickable button. Now we're gonna create another type, and the type is gonna be submit. And as a text, I'm gonna add submits data. Save it and refresh, and there you go. This will submit data. Okay, let's do the last one here. No, it's not yet. Button type, and then reset. Then this one's gonna say resets form. Okay, save it, refresh, and there you have it. As I have said, this won't do anything if I click on it, okay? And this one, the submit data, the submit button, if I submit it or if I click on it, it's gonna try to submit data, which we do not have set at all, right? If I click on it, most likely it's gonna add some character here, which is gonna be a question mark, something like this, and but since again, because we're not submitting anything, so it won't show anything else. If we were to have text fields in there, then it will be whatever that text field is submitting, then it will be equals to whatever. Okay, just an example. Okay, so I'm just gonna delete this. Okay, so I'm just gonna click on it so you can just see. Okay, and it tried to submit data. Okay, now this one, if I click on it, it won't do anything, but apparently it tries to reset all the values from the form. Okay, just so you know how this button works, especially the submit and reset form, I'm gonna create just I'm gonna add a few text fields in here. Okay, so but I'm gonna add a label element. Um, you know what a label is. So, and we need one attribute for it, which is the for attribute. What we put in here is gonna be depending on the text field that we're gonna have there. Okay, so in here I'm just gonna say first name. Yeah, and let's just add the, well, no, not yet. Okay, now I'm gonna create an input, and for the type, I'm just gonna add a regular text, and the ID is gonna be first name, and the value, we're gonna add the value attribute also, and I'm gonna say Williams, yeah. Um, Now, remember that I said that what we put in here is gonna be depending on this input here. So we're basically gonna put the ID of this text field, which is first name. Then I'm just gonna copy and put it right here. Okay, so each input should have its own label, okay, which is basically linking with each other. Okay, now, yeah, I'm gonna wrap these two elements, the label and the input, in a pair of p tags, just like this. Okay, now I'm just gonna copy um, and paste it in just one time, and this one I'm gonna change it to last name. Okay, in here I'm gonna change it to last, and just change the first word to last, and the value I'm gonna say Anderson. Yeah. Okay, now I think we are ready, so let's just save it and refresh the browser here, and there we have it. Okay, this one won't do anything. Okay, so for right now I'm just gonna remove it. Okay, if you want to use this, which is the first one, clickable button, you basically need JavaScript for it, or languages similar to JavaScript. Okay, so I'm just gonna remove it. Okay, now I'm gonna save it. Okay, now as you see here, um, if I add, I'm just gonna replace this value. So we're pretending, you see these values here, we are basically pretending that these values are coming from the server. Okay, let's say PHP. Again, we're just pretending. Okay, just to clarify, this is not coming from the server. Okay, we added this value here through the input here. Okay, now I'm just gonna change it to something else. Okay, I'm gonna say Billy. And this one I'm gonna say white. Okay, now as soon as, let me remove this the question mark here. Okay, as soon as I click submit, okay, then we're gonna see over here on the address bar that Billy and white are gonna be submitted as values. Okay, so check what it's gonna display. Okay, most likely we need a name attribute also. So let's add it. First name, so name attribute and last name. Okay, now it should work with no problem. Let's just refresh the page. Okay, and let's add this. Let's say, oh, I had said Billy, and this one white. Okay, now I'm gonna submit, and there it is. You can see Billy was submitted, and the last name white was submitted. But of course, this is not going anywhere. Okay, now you notice that it got reset to its default values, right? So now let's test the reset button there. So I'm gonna add Billy again, and white as last name. Now I'm gonna click reset form. Okay, and watch what's gonna happen. Okay, now we have back our default values. Well, that is it for this lecture. We've gone through all basic HTML elements, and everything we learned, we're gonna put it into practice by building this project that is called Lander, which is basically a landing page.